Hey everyone, welcome back. This time I want to talk about time, especially when it comes to preparing for our transitions. It's not a commodity, if I can spit it out, it's not a commodity that maybe comes in abundance. So let's get into round 34, the tactical transition tips. The topic this time is don't waste time. For the close range group, those of you who are looking at transition right away to say maybe a year from now, no 0 days. And for the medium range group, those of you who are looking at your transition in say 5 years or so, use time blocking. And for the long range group, those of you looking at transition in at least a decade, you're just starting your career and got quite a few miles ahead of you, set intentional goals.
When you transition out, is try to model all of the good things, the discipline, the structure, that little bit of rigidity into your everyday life. And I think that that's a great way to make that transition happen, man.
Take the time to invest in yourself because it means everything. You know? That's what the difference is. The difference is not just to collect a check. It's to live 25 years, 30, 40 years after you retire and pay it forward that way.
For the close range group, have no 0 days. No days off. Consistency is key. You're approaching your transition really fast. That train is probably feel like it's running at 1,000 miles an hour. You don't have the time to necessarily be lackadaisical about it. Hopefully you've been doing some planning and preparation for it, but even that can sometimes go off the rails. Make sure that every day you're doing something that's moving you to be better prepared or closer to your goals for your transition. You might even think that something little might be insignificant, or it might be too small to even count. But doing something every single day eventually adds up. You put enough small tasks together and they will add up to something significant. But it's that consistency piece. It's doing something, even if it's a little bit, each and every day. If you think about it this way, what if you updated one line of your resume every day? A month from now, if it wasn't completely revamped or refreshed, it would be very close. And that's just doing one line in your resume a day. You could maybe set some time to send one networking email a day. You could take 10 minutes each day when you wake up, before you go to bed, on your lunch break. We're all on our phones. We're all in front of our computers. What if you took 10 minutes and researched a little bit more about the career you're looking at, the job you want, or your skills and experience and what they relate to as far as jobs? Again, it doesn't have to be a lot. It just needs to be consistent every single day. I know many of us work shifts. We work goofy schedules. We have families. We have responsibilities. We have all those things. I get it. We're too busy. We're too tired. Hopefully some of you immediately started hearing that might come off as a little bit of an excuse. I'm not saying to completely disregard it as an excuse. I do understand that some of those things are legitimate. With that, boil it down a little bit less. Set micro goals. Create a journal to write one idea each day about what your transition plan is, what you need to do to get to your transition goals, something about the job that you're interested in, something little. How long does it take to write one sentence about what you're doing? Write a goal that you want to accomplish the next day. So basically, you're front loading what you're going to do tomorrow, but you're putting the task in today. I would say, though, that whatever you're going to front load yourself, make sure it's something that can be accomplished. Don't set a small task or goal for yourself that you know realistically may not happen. I can imagine that if you said to yourself, hey, I want to get up tomorrow morning and get X, Y, or Z done, but you know that tomorrow morning, and I'm saying that figuratively, is your daughter's soccer game, and it's probably not going to happen. Make sure you put the goal in a place where you have the capability of completing it. But again, it's just making sure that every day you're doing something little. It doesn't have to be these huge acts. Now, if you've got the time and you've got the desire and you've got the ability to accomplish bigger tasks, great. But just make sure you're doing something little each and every day. Going back to the writing something about your transition plan or your transition goals, I would recommend keeping a journal, because there are going to be those days where, man, you're just not motivated for it, for whatever reason it is. That journal of what you've accomplished, what the little tasks that you did each day, will help motivate you on those days when you're not really feeling it. Because that's, again, the key to this is being consistent each and every day, doing something little towards your transition goals. Always remember, the clock's ticking. It's not ticking because it's your friend. It's not ticking slowly for you. If anything, it's probably ticking a little bit faster. This episode is brought to you by Trident Coffee, the veteran-owned brand where every sip inspires you to live life full steam ahead. I've been drinking their coffees for a while now, and I'm glad to partner with a company whose products I use. At Trident, they're more than just coffee. They're storytellers. Crafted by veterans, their instant cold brew is perfect for those who serve, those who have served, and anyone who values wellness. Featuring natural ingredients like organic mushrooms, adaptogens, and nootropics, it's more than just a morning pick-me-up. It's your new wellness ritual. Enjoy it at home or on the go, wherever your day takes you. Trident Coffee isn't just about great-tasting coffee. It's about empowering you to be the healthiest version of yourself, because great veterans make great citizens. Try their instant cold brew today, along with many other coffee products, and taste the freedom of wellness. Remember, when you choose Trident, you're not just choosing coffee. You're choosing a path of connection through health and wellness. Head on over to tridentcoffee.com and use the promo code TDP15 for 15% off your order. Again, that's TDP15 for 15% off your order. Medium range group. Use time blocking. You ask yourself, what is time blocking? Well, basically, it's setting yourself up for a specific task on a given day at a given time, each day, each week. But it's time specific to you planning and preparing for your transition. Maybe you need to work on your networking. Maybe you need to address some sort of skill development that is lacking for a particular job that you want. Maybe it's planning for your finances. Whatever it is, set a time block consistently that gives you the ample opportunity to address whatever component of your transition plan or your transition goal needs your attention. I don't know what that's going to be for you. Depending on what your list might be, some items may only need 15 minutes once a week. Some items might need 2 hours once a week. If you're looking to go back to school or something like that, you may need to block off those couple hours. You may also have to maybe say, you know what, every evening I need to give myself 30 minutes. Whatever it is related to what you need to accomplish, set a time block, make sure you adhere to it, make sure that it's something that you're able to be disciplined enough to make sure it gets done. It's going to force you to prioritize whatever you have to do. You have to talk to your family. You have to let them know, that you have to get this X, Y, or Z done. If work is a component, then obviously schedule it around your work. If for whatever reason you end up pulled late on a shift or an unexpected, duty assignment, well, then maybe it's something that you can modify on the fly. Where I'm going with this, though, is every one of us has a little bit of time, probably in every single day of our lives, where we could take a little chunk of that for something as important as preparing for your transition. Don't allow that time, once you block it off. If you have to create a calendar for your family that your family can see, and they know that, hey, on Thursdays from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m., you're off in, the den or wherever, that's your time. Let your family know. Put it on a calendar, something that, one, they know what you're doing, but two, when you see it on the calendar every day, it holds you accountable. It keeps that discipline in place. You need to stay on track. Preparing and planning for your transition is something that is very important. You might not think so right now. It might be real easy to go, man, I've still got a couple years. I'm good to go. Those couple years are going to fly by for you. So start taking it seriously now and make sure you chunk out that time to help you get better prepared for your transition. Identify the key areas that are going to be important for you, or that are areas that might be lacking for you. Once you have that list, make sure that you are allocating a proper amount of time for it, but more importantly, make sure you're allocating the time to better prepare or get yourself better situated for that. Don't take it as I need to do more on networking, but then you kind of go, I'll take care of it later. Make sure that whatever you're allocating your time for, that's what you're doing. You don't have Sports Center on in the background or your favorite TV show or something like that in a way is distracting to you. Now, you're all your own boss. If you can legitimately work while you have those other distractions around you, have at it, do it. But I'm probably, if you're like me, very easily distracted. Those things that our families, the TV, the pool in the backyard, whatever it is that we think we can get work done and do the other, it tends to not work well. But that's for you to try. As long as you're getting the work done, however you do it, great on you. But I'm assuming that it's probably best if you can allot some private time for yourself. You can start small. You could start out with a 15-minute block. You could start out with a 5-minute block, but make sure you're doing it and make sure you're purposeful about it. And then also be thinking to yourself that probably 5 minutes is not enough. You want to be bumping it up and do an honest evaluation of what you think is the needed time to improve or to get better or to make a noticeable change in that time period that you're blocking out for yourself. You can't let yourself procrastinate. That transition, which seems far away right now, is going to come quick. You've got a lot of downtime between now and then. Fill it with stuff that's important to you and that makes you better prepared for your transition. This episode is brought to you by Soflete, a tactical fitness company founded by special operations soldiers. Soflete is dedicated to helping you achieve a healthy lifestyle. From expertly crafted training programs to high-quality proteins, pre-workouts, and sleep and recovery supplements, they've got everything you need to power through your day. Softlete also has a full line of clothing. They have you covered from shorts to cold weather gear. Embracing the motto, Die Living, Softlete inspires us all to embrace life with vigor and resilience. So take the first step towards a healthier you. Visit softlete.com. That's SOFLETE.com. And use the promo code TDP20 to get 20% off your order. Again, that's TDP20 for 20% off your order. Long range group. Set intentional goals. Have a purpose for your career. Don't just kind of go through the motions and let what happens. Create a purpose for yourself. Create plans and goals and something that you can aim to achieve that gives your career some validation to you, that gives you that motivation to want to keep at it every day. But remember that every action that you take today, tomorrow, the day after, whether it's action with purpose, I want to get to X goal, or it's action without any direction or purpose, they're both going to have an impact on your career. Make sure that what you're putting your effort into has the most positive effect for you. When you set your goals, be as specific as possible. For example, I'm just throwing this out, is someone might say, I want to be financially secure when I retire. That's a general goal, as opposed to, I want to max my 401k, or I want to put $1,000 or $500 or whatever amount, a very specific amount every month in my retirement account or in my deferred compensation account or whatever type of tax deferred account or however you do your investing. But where I'm getting at is it's a very specific amount as opposed to a general goal of, well, yeah, my plan is to be financially stable when I transition out. Put some purpose behind it. Put some specificity behind it. As you move through your career and you set, not all your goals need to be 10 years out or 20 years out. You might have a variety of them. You might have a close range, a medium range, and a long range. Set those goals for you, but give yourself that carrot at the end of your stick to keep kind of chasing it. But don't put it so far out that it's easy to almost kind of overlook it, and where it doesn't feel like, if anything you do today doesn't really get you closer to that. Definitely have some small goals, whether it's an assignment change or an assignment upgrade or becoming a team lead or getting on a different team. Little things that you might be able to say, you know what, I can get to this in the next 6 months, a year, whatever it is. In that time frame, put everything you can towards getting to that goal. Then, once you achieve that goal, don't rest on your laurels. Set a next goal. Keep working towards it. But at the same time, have those long-term but very specific goals. I want to achieve the rank of X. I want to accomplish X in my career. Whatever it is for you that you feel will be what you deem as successful in your career. Set those long-term goals, but be specific about it. The other thing, though, with long-term goals is they also need consistent reevaluation, because what you might want to achieve today might be different in 5 years from now, might be different in 10 years from now. So don't necessarily set the goal today, fire and forget it, and say, okay, that's where I want to end up, because paths are going to change on you. Opportunities are going to change. Your life is going to change. That may also dictate your long-term goals. So in closing, for the close range group, no 0 days. No day goes without some type of progress towards your transition. Medium range group. Use time blocking. Take control of your schedule and make your transition a priority because it's coming. It's coming quicker than you imagine. And for the long range group, set intentional goals. Start planning now, but be miles ahead by the time you make it to your transition. As always, thank you again for listening and watching the podcast. Please give it a follow. Share it with somebody that you think might benefit from it. All those little things can help grow the podcast and get in front of more eyes and ears. And until the next one, it's easy to waste time. Don't.